Yeah, what's up? Sorry. Not sorry. We got some shit going on, apparently. Wait a while. All right, I'll put you on. Unreasonable decisions.
Really driving really fast right now. You could see there the speedometer is going up and up and up from Sky Map 7. But
This is
again, we are
old
lucky to
chase.
have this feature so we can see
That's
exactly where they are. We know they're still in
I'm all right
Glendale.
with
They're
that.
on the shoulder now.
At least that I
and
could deal with.
driving. I mean, is that the carpool lane, Larry? That's our director who I'm asking. Oh,
Is
okay,
it
so they're
Larry?
in the carpool lane right there.
Hey, Larry.
And, oh, right, it does happen. Yeah, they're going over 100 miles per hour at some points here. So they figured out the carpool lane. They're going to keep on going. And again, at some point, they're either going to
At what point?
take. They're still on.
This is the Mercedes-Benz chase.
Gauging on the 5.
This is that one
And they're going
you're
through
not
San
used
Fernando
to.
Valley. I have this little thing that obstructs my viewpoint here on my monitor, so sometimes you can't really see it. But anyway, they're still making their way on the Golden State Freeway. They're in the Burbank area, and you can see now the police CHP is now en route, and the CHP seems like they may have really got this driver's attention because it's really up the ante here on the way that this driver is now maneuvering the car, the speeds that this driver's taking. And as many of us know, the CHP, they are very well prepared and trained in these pursuits, and anyone behind
Why are we doing this?
driving, just the normal civilians, they see the CHP, they see the flashing lights, and we know that there's going to be a
I'm
watch
just
commander
chilling.
watching
So
this
this is a
and
replay
there's gonna be,
from last
other
week.
CHP
I
officers
guess
who are
you
going
could
to
say
be
it's
at
last
other,
week. I don't know. I don't
points in
know.
this drive, so they
But
constantly
yeah, this
do
is
like a relay
this is something
between
different.
the CHP drivers. And right now, maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like the
Most people
driver's
already saw us.
headlamps are
Got like
not being used, but
230,000
you can
views.
see the brake lights. But
I was
at the
running
moment
it,
there, looked
and
like
then
their
whatever.
lights are out. But
Don't matter.
again, I can't really sell because they're braking now quite a bit. And
This
now they're
wasn't
trying
what
to
I
get
was
off.
trying to
They're
get
taking,
into anyway.
Is that the San Fernando Boulevard exit?
honest with you.
I'm trying to see.
Let's be honest.
Exit 147B, which says Empire Avenue. So we'll see where this is going. But now they are in the San Fernando Valley taking the surface streets. And yes, their headlights are out. That which always makes it a little challenging for anyone who is a pedestrian, especially when they start going on surface streets.
Pedestrians.
It just makes it so hard when it's night and you can't tell if there's a car coming. But again, now this is very hard. They're right at San Fernando Boulevard, and boy, this area, now they're taking a right on, I need to kind of Amherst Drive, so we can kind of see where this pursuit is taking place. But again, this is all happening. This has been happening for a while. We know
like
it
if
started on the
unless
west
you're
side,
doing this
and we
shit
know
every
that the
day.
CHP, the
Well,
warrant was
this
the
is my
want,
tip to
as
you,
we kind of call
okay?
it in the news business.
Unless you're
is
doing
that
this
it
shit
was for
every
a
day,
stolen vehicle out of Texas,
and you're
this,
deciding that you're going to
navy
do
blue
it for real,
Mercedes-Benz SUV does have Texas
and
license
keep
plate.
moving with it,
But now they're going through Burbank.
you're not going to
Boulevard
make
by the
any.
Burbank
You're not
Center.
going to make any space.
They're navigating these streets
It is what
very
it
well.
is.
We're not quite sure who
You're gonna
the
fall
suspects
through the
are. We're told that
cracks.
there are at least 2 people
Get in
inside
there
the
and
vehicle.
keep
They
moving.
may have thrown something out of that vehicle when they were on the 10 East.
Just
making
get in
their
there
way
and
to
keep
the
moving.
110.
Don't play
They
the
did make their way
game.
to the 110 North, winding their way through downtown, really speeding through and weaving in and out of traffic in downtown. And then they made the choice to take the 5 North, and now we see where they are. They are in Burbank.
Yep.
They're on surface streets. We know the CHP got involved, but now at
You
this
guys
point,
know
we're
the
going to
deal.
have to start seeing which jurisdiction will start. Look
My
at how
feet,
quickly
man.
this person, kind of like a jackrabbit, will slow down.
This one,
go fast. Make
this
you
one,
kind of
I
believe
should
that
have been
maybe they are
on. I was
unsure
playing games,
of
and
their
I shouldn't have
surroundings.
been.
And you can see
I was playing
the
games.
the
That was my
lights,
fault.
which are obviously illuminating this area, so you can see when the police
No,
are
it was
behind them.
definitely my
But
fault.
again, you see a lot of people walking around. That makes it very dangerous for a
We're
pursuit,
gonna see
especially when it
some
starts to
shit,
go
though.
again on surface streets. But again, you can take a look. We're right at the Burbank Center. A lot of us know this area. It's got restaurants, it's got shops, it has, you know, you see the AMC movie theater. Okay, so right there, they're turning right there by the Burbank Center. You could see it again. I think, yeah, you saw it again. That navy blue Mercedes-Benz SUV that's suspected to be stolen out of Texas. They do have Texas license plates. They just made a right turn right there. As you can see, they might be getting back on the freeway again.
There was one chase already.
I think it is the 5 North again. They're getting back on the 5 North freeway.
And I really do want to give you good content.
I don't know if that's a relief
Not
or
that I
not,
don't
but it
wanna
always
give you
seems
good
like a relief when you
content,
see
live
a pursuit
content,
suspect. But when they're going almost 95
Oh,
miles an hour,
Jesus
there's
Christ.
always a concern.
All right, we're going to
Especially for
stop
the
this one
drivers in
right
front of
here.
them. They
Hold
don't
on,
see
hold
this
on. I got a big
Mercedes-Benz.
announcement. I got a big announcement on the Mercedes-Benz. We can put this one on hold because this doesn't mean shit for real. Like, we have fun and we do what we do, but honestly, like when it comes to the real shit, like for real, yeah, goddamn, upsetting, very upsetting. Riley Strain's body has been found. From what I'm hearing, I don't know. Let's see. I don't even like covering this shit, honestly. Just like the rest of this shit that I don't like covering, but I do. Ah, Jesus Christ. God forgive me. Is this real? Is this really going on? Was he found? Now I sound like the rest of them. This one 6 hours ago. Okay. So
stretches across multiple counties with the focus remaining on the Cumberland River.
Our Jordan James is live with more, excuse me, on what's being done to locate him. Jordan?
according to this,
Good morning, Carly. Over the last 24 hours, crews have been scattered along.
according to this the first thing, they went into Cheatham County apparently. I'm not really sure what's going on, and I'm sorry that I'm not able to give you like bit by bit, piece by piece. I just can't do it. It's just not in me, man. I'm not a tragedy pimp. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to do that. Yeah, I got a Cash App up and all that shit like that on my pages. And that's just strictly for people who do want to donate to the channel to keep the lights on, but it's not anything like, I'm not saying keep my lights on. It's to keep the channel going. So let's go ahead with this.
On the Cumberland River, with searches taking place here in Davidson County and Cheatham County, all while volunteers continue to plaster this poster all across the region. Now, this coming nearly 2 weeks into the search for Riley Strain. On Wednesday, crews made their way to Cheatham County. That location is important because the Cumberland River runs through that county and happens to be where the dam is located. In an effort to see if the 22-year-old is there, the Army Corps of Engineers engaged in the process of opening and closing locks, which would force anything in the water to float to the surface. Despite scouring through the debris, there were no sightings of the Mizzou senior. Meanwhile, volunteers who made the nearly 40-mile drive from Nashville say their mission remains the same.
I work downtown, so I'm very interested in this case. I have tried to follow the river up as far as it will go, and that's why I'm here, hoping to find Riley. Yeah. some closure for his family.
And as of now, the only physical evidence that's been found pertaining to this case is Riley's bank card, which was found by 2 TikTokers. Again, those searches are expected to start here in the coming hours. Reporting here live in Nashville, Jordan James, WSMV4.
All right, so they're not really saying anything, which is kind of actually what I expected, but where are we at with this shit? Seriously, where are we? Where are we with the bullshit? Like, honestly.
Korea, I'm Rob Fukuzaki, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
So we'll go back to this one. Sorry. Not sorry. Just doing our own thing. Gotta do your own thing over here. Yes, I do have a Cash App. Yes, I do have all these other things. Are they 100% active? No, they're not. I'm not doing the work. I have to do the work to get it right. You'll be seeing some new shit. You're either going to like it or hate it. It is what it is. I'm going to keep doing my thing. I got a lot of shit to keep track of while I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's crazy because I wish I could just 100% dedicate myself to the grind. I really do. I wish I could. I can't. Why is this stuck here?
Their way through the valley now. Ooh, kind of close.
Yeah, that'll be quick, right? Quick end of a fucking stream.
Lane, which is
that's for sure.
Really dangerous because you never know how big these shoulders are. You know, sometimes they narrow.
Big shoulders.
So we'll see where this car is going to end up going. But again, they are in Sun Valley with their lights out, which makes it very, very hard. And you never know if they know that their lights are out.
A long live.
Because if this is a car that's kind of unfamiliar to them, they may not know how to turn on the lights. One never knows why they are driving without their lights on. But again, a lot of other drivers taking them by surprise. But when you see all those CHP officers, you know that you're going to have to start moving to the right and try to figure out what exactly is happening behind you. But I do always feel sorry for the drivers who are innocent, and hopefully they don't get injured or get scared or rattled while they see a pursuit taking place behind them. But again, you can see they're in Sun Valley. That's very odd. Is that a sheriff's? Maybe not a sheriff. It does look like one of those sheriff buses, which always is kind of unusual. But if you drive a lot, you see those sheriff buses.
I just got
quite a bit. So,
an update.
Again, they're in Sun Valley. They're at the Lankershim Boulevard, Tuxford Street exit, but they are not taking surface streets again. So it looks like they're going to try to stay on the freeway for most of the time. And we do not know if these suspects are actually from Los Angeles or if they stole this vehicle in Texas and they are Texas residents and they just wanted to come to LA and check it out. We don't know why these suspects are in Los Angeles or anything about them. And you can't really see inside the vehicle as I keep trying to see you. There's not a lot of movement. Thank you, Air 7, for zooming in. But we can't see if there's any movement or anything, because sometimes you can see the driver or the passengers really animated. But as we really try to go in as close as we can, we do not see any movement. You can see in the sunroof too. So we don't see a lot of movement. Sometimes you'd see these drivers really like on their cell phones, and you could see the cell phone illuminating, or people open up their windows.
All right,
But
you know what?
we know at some
Let's
point,
jump into
possibly
this for a
around the
second.
10 East at Robertson,
I want to get
they
into
may-
this.
Outdoor space here at Seashore Ace
Just
Home
so
and
you,
Outdoor Living.
have
From
something
top brands
different.
like Sea
These fucking dudes, or whatever the fuck, I don't even know. I'm probably thank you for the shit. But anyways, we're gonna go to this. I don't really care about a Mercedes-Benz chase. It happens every day. You guys do that. New York to LA, man. That's what we do. Look. Let's jump over here. Call these,
Told was a self-injurious.
I don't have no, got
Hurt,
dark
one of them
places.
in critical condition. Here's what we know at this time. Police tell us that Skylar Mead, an Idaho Department of Correction inmate, he was at St. Alphonsus Hospital where he was receiving treatment for what we were
St.
told was a
Alphonse.
self-injurious
course they
incident or a
blame the
self-inflicted
Italians.
injury. We understand that happened late Tuesday night. Then on Wednesday morning, when he was being put back in the prison van, talking about Mead, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday, police say another man, Nicholas Umphenor, who's on the right of your screen right there with the beard, he showed up, began shooting at officers.
Both Mead and Umphenor got away. Mead is a documented member of the Aryan Knights gang. That's a white supremacist prison gang in Idaho. He has Aryan Knights tattoos on each side of his face. You can't see it in that photo there. Umphenor is 5'11", 160 pounds. He has brown hair and hazel eyes. Police believe they are, or at least
let me
driving
say
the
this
2020
now.
gray Honda Civic with
It
license plate number
isn't a
2TDF43U. We are certainly going to ask the question of law enforcement whether or not they're still in
not
that
a-
car, if they have information about that. 2 of the officers who were shot have non-life-threatening injuries. The third,
It's not a thing about the look, man. When you're in there, it's a whole different situation, and their life is completely different. Am I making excuses for that? Fuck no. Nah, I'm not the one. These are issues we all need to address and infinitely address, so we don't keep making the same mistakes. It's just sad. But here we have a violent convicted felon, right? Which there's a lot of us out here that are condemned as that. It doesn't mean that's what you are today. But when you're doing this type of activity, it changes the whole landscape. And the only thing I could say to that is, if that's the route you're taking, God bless you and your journey, because it's going to be short-lived. Regardless of whether you're behind bars or up against the pistol that you're fighting against. You think you're fighting against something that's not real. These things are very real. They're very fluid. There's real consequences. There's real victims. Nobody's talking about the victims. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, they're talking about the victims because there's 3 police officers involved. They're calling them police officers. I believe we have two correctional officers, which I'm not saying that makes it any different. They're still officials to a point. There's the same dudes bringing you into cell phones and crack and whatever. You know, it is what it is. We all know the drill. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not sitting here acting like a tough guy. This isn't my thing. I'm out here trying to live life and be positive and pump positivity. Does the crime bring people in? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why you'll see all my shit is #crime. It's not true crime. All crime is true. Like, get it right the first time. Don't church it up. Dirt. That's just my point, man. That's just my point.
Is in critical but stable condition.
Don't church it
Both
up.
men are believed to be armed and dangerous.
You are
if you
what
have
you
any
are.
information or if you see them, call 911 and do not approach them. It's also important to note that police are saying Umphenor shot 2 of those IDOC officers.
Yeah.
We do understand that the 3rd officer was shot by a Boise police officer who showed up to the scene at the St. Alphonsus ambulance bay and saw an armed man in what they call their khakis and blacks, that IDOC uniform, and shot that 3rd IDOC officer.
A very chaotic situation, of course. This was about 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday. Again, we are standing by waiting for a news conference right now with Boise Police. We understand the Idaho State Police will be there, as well as the Idaho Department of Corrections. You may remember about 24 hours ago, Boise Police, IDOC, they were able to give us some updates in a live news conference that was about 1 o'clock yesterday. But Morgan, I know there's a lot of questions out there right now.
Yeah.
Of course, across social media, there are some people that are claiming there's been sightings, there's claims about cars being switched. So we're hoping to get some real information from police about what is a fact and what's not community rumor.
Right.
Let me fucking stop you right there. Okay? If you're any type of career criminal, you're going to have money aside. You're going to have vehicles aside. You're going to have people who are going in for you. That's just how it goes. It's your decision to not be that person. Let's go.
And they had a media briefing yesterday where they provided all the latest information. At that time, Umphenor hadn't been identified. He was identified last night. But we did hear about a possible sighting up in Valley County, and I was talking to the Valley County Sheriff yesterday. They had posted on Facebook that they'd received a sighting tip, that somebody saw that 2020 Honda Civic potentially, and the sheriff said that the description was the same as the car, but that the license plate matched partially to the license plate number that we've been given now for that car. He said that they weren't able to get eyes on and actually confirm whether that tip was legitimate or not. So again, Valley County posted this on social media, but they weren't able to confirm whether or not those 2 individuals were seen in Valley County, or excuse me, in Idaho County. It was Valley County deputies who responded, but that sighting was allegedly in Idaho County.
In the investigation.
Look at these two. Bro. They want to talk about profiling. Let's be honest. This is before this dude did whatever he did to his face or whatever. And hey, God bless you. Hey, you know, you already know you're fucked. So you did what you did. And this dude, I don't even know what he was thinking. His brain got too big, apparently. Look at this shit. Look at that thing. It's massive. He got too busy. That thing started burning its own wires right into the game.
right now, it's going in two separate directions. You have one, the active search for these two men that are on your screen right now, but Morgan also looking backwards in terms of what happened here. How is this coordinated? How is this able to even be a possibility that IDOC officers were ambushed like this and somebody was able to get away? So we know that the investigators, they're going through a lot of different situations. We understood yesterday.
And they ask these questions, but they already know the answers. Let's be honest. The answers are out there. Oh, it's a big conspiracy. There's no conspiracy here, bro. The dude has a cell phone and set it up. Let's not. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm no genius. That's obvious. But let's get real with it.
From Chief Weiniger from Boise Police that they were getting a lot of tips. There was tips.
And again, I'm not hurt. Like, I'm not against these dudes and their life and the shit they went through. It's nothing like that. Yeah, everybody's a byproduct of their society. At the same time, you don't have to be. You got to make that fucking decision. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You can make that decision and go on with your life and never do it again. It's that simple. It's that simple, man. It's that simple.
That was coming in. Some tips may be more valuable than others. You also understand, though, as we were talking, that these guys could have gotten pretty far. But we do understand that the press conference is about to start. I believe we want to get there right now. This is Boise Police Chief Ron Weiniger.
It is my pleasure to welcome you today. Also, today you will be hearing from Lieutenant Colonel Sheldon Kelly of the Idaho State Police, as well as Director Josh Tewalt of the Idaho Department of Correction. Also present here with me is Ada County Sheriff Matt Clifford. This is but a small representation of the number of different agencies that have assisted in this investigation to this point, and we are grateful for their help. I want to begin
knock
today
on
by
my door.
That
stop being a punk.
This afternoon, following a lengthy investigation, the two suspects who we have been seeking were located in Twin Falls, in the Twin Falls area. There was a short vehicle pursuit, and both suspects were taken into.
There's only two types of people in this life that run and are scared. They're guilty. They're guilty. Just be honest. If you got a problem with me, come knock on my door. We can settle that quietly.
Custody separately. There were no shots fired or extensive use of force in this operation, for which we are thankful. Obviously, that just occurred.
Stop driving up
into
your
and so we
old
do not have
man's
a lot
driveway.
of details about the arrest right now, but we
You
do
think I
have
don't see you?
some more information to share with you, and we will be gathering those details and providing them as soon as we possibly can. And we once again want to make known Skylar Meade.
I got more
Nicholas
versatility
Humpenauer
than you can ever have.
Would like to turn the time now over to Lieutenant Colonel Sheldon Kelly of the Idaho State Police, because this investigation has grown immensely over the last 24 to 36 hours and has involved a number of different entities and crimes across the state of Idaho. And so to speak to some of those and answer questions as well, Lieutenant Colonel Kelly.
Thank you, Chief. Again, my name is Sheldon Kelly. I'm a Lieutenant Colonel with the Idaho State Police. I'm Chief of Operations. First off, I want to thank all the law enforcement agencies across Idaho that have assisted with this. I know it's the Idaho way, but there was an immense collaboration and cooperation all across the state to come to this conclusion. Ever since this incident kicked off, we've had professionals working tirelessly on this issue to get to the point where we are today. Through the course of this investigation, detectives located the Honda Accord that was used in the escape. near Leland, Idaho. Additionally, law enforcement we are investigating 2 homicides at separate locations in Nez Perce and Clearwater counties. These are potentially tied to this incident.
But we don't know yet. So we'll find out in the discovery, because there will be a trial. And I guarantee you we will be covering it. So stick around.
Both homicides involve adult males, and detectives are actively investigating. No further information on the homicides is available at this time, and the county coroner will provide identity as well as the official cause of death on those. Like the chief said at the end of this, if you have some questions, if I can't answer,
GSWs.
This is an ongoing investigation, and to not taint that, we're not going to be able to share everything. And now I'd like to let the director of Idaho Department of Corrections, Josh Seawald, give an update on his folks.
Thank you, Colonel. My name's Josh Seawald. I'm the director for the Idaho Department of Corrections.
Hey, Josh Seawald.
First, just nothing but appreciation for the cooperative effort from federal, state, and local law enforcement throughout Idaho and even neighboring states for their cooperation in helping to bring these 2 suspects to justice. We were able to share the news moments ago with our 2 staff members who remain in the hospital, and it's safe to say their spirits were lifted. We know, to give you an update on their condition, one of our officers was released from the hospital.
It's not easy out here doing what they're doing.
While 2 remain in the hospital.
Let's be honest.
They're stable, improving, and I think with
got
today's
every
news,
soul in the country
their spirits are lifted.
trying to be.
Just to provide a little bit of context on the other suspect who we believe helped Skylar Mead escape and who actively attacked our staff yesterday morning, Nicholas Umpenauer. We'll be posting a little bit more information about his criminal history and time with us at the Department of Correction to our website, and we'll share that to State Police, BPD as well for them to distribute. But once he was identified as a potential suspect yesterday, our investigators, along with cooperation from other law enforcement partners, began trying to tie him with Skylar Mead. In addition to both having membership with the Aryan Knights, they also shared some acquaintances, some common acquaintances, both in custody as well.
And see, here's my thing with that, right? They have affiliations. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Just because that's what they're claiming while they're in there doesn't mean that they got to sign off on going ahead and doing what they're doing. Nobody's okay with that. There's not an organization out here that's doing what they're doing and then just letting dudes go ahead. It's not happening. Like honestly, I can run back a scenario for you where, and if you're watching, buddy, I really hope you are, because you know the scenario. They're not backing you up. They're not backing you up on this one. This is between you and I, and I'm still waiting for my apology. Or just a reason. Just a reason. I don't even need your apology. I need your reason. But enough of that, because I'll see you soon, Tommy.
Well as in the community. Lastly, they did have some housing overlap on and off from December 29th, 2020 to when Mr. Umpenauer was released from our custody on January 17th of 2024. That they were both housed at the Idaho Maximum Security
Rocky Strong, what's up, my man?
There
Sorry.
was movement in
CB.
between, but there were times within that time frame where
my
they shared,
fault.
they were in the
Oh,
same
God
housing
bless
unit
you
in our
all.
facilities. With that,
God bless you.
just again want to express our thanks and appreciation
CB, goddamn, man.
for what was a very tough ordeal for the corrections family. But thank
same with you,
BPD and their response.
Same with you.
Now over 36 hours ago. To the ambush on our staff, but everybody.
See, I got good people, man.
Offered assistance and put
I
their
got good
shoulder
people
into helping bring these two.
They just don't know me yet. Yeah, they don't know my heart.
Thank you, Director.
But it's cool.
We can't possibly
We'll get
name
there.
everyone who helped with this investigation and the last 36 hours, but of particular
love you
note,
guys. Thank you.
I would certainly like to thank the FBI for their assistance. They have been involved.
CB,
and
you've been in my
also
heart for a
involved
minute,
in
man.
the pursuit and taking into custody of these gentlemen.
I'm truly
down in
sorry
Twin Falls area.
for everything
We
that went on.
appreciate them and
I wasn't
virtually
doing what
every
I'm doing.
County Sheriff's Office.
I wasn't.
Between here and northern Idaho and across to eastern Idaho. We
it is what it
thank
is.
our partners here in the Treasure
We all
Valley
live,
for their
we learn, we
assistance,
love.
particularly
That's
Josh
what I hope.
Hurwitz, our U.S. attorney, has been
That's
involved.
my
and
biggest
helpful,
hope. That's my
along with
biggest
the
hope,
FBI.
is that we all
And
learn
the
and
Ada County
love.
Prosecutor's Office has certainly been an integral part
Stop
of this
turning each other into
investigation,
some
providing
other
support
shit that we ain't.
and all the needs that
And just be who we
have,
are.
come across over the last 36 hours. So, again, I apologize for not being able to thank everyone.
Who the
but
fuck
there
am
are
I?
a lot of folks who have come together
Nobody.
to do some really
Just
good
another dude on the
work
internet.
and really important work to take these two gentlemen, and I use
Thank
that
you
term
so
loosely,
much, man.
into custody before their path of destruction could get any wider.
God damn.
So,
I'm sorry I
thank you.
missed you.
We do have
I'm not
time for a
used to
couple of
having people on
questions,
here.
but we are limited in what we
I
can
don't
release
care.
at
I'm
this
just
point.
pushing forward. I'm
And
sorry.
We, still
I
have
mean,
a
I
lot
don't
of work
care,
to
but
do,
I care.
to make sure that we have investigated all of the leads.
It's a
that have
rough
come in.
road,
We've
man.
had hundreds
It's a
of
rough
tips coming
road.
from
It's
the
tough, man.
members of the public.
And Rocky, stay
for which
strong,
we
bro.
are also grateful.
I'm
and
right
would
there
like
with
to
you on
thank
that shit, man.
Those who have taken the time to
Same
provide
with
us
you,
with
CB.
information as this case
I don't know what
unfolded.
I'd do if I was in your
A couple of
shoes.
questions for anyone, if you would.
Be easy to be Rocky
Yes, sir.
strong. And goddamn, whatever. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. With GD. I really am. I'm foul. I'm foul.
Yeah, I think we're certainly in the process of reviewing our policies and practices, and I think there are
people right
two
here.
things
Good
that have to be
people.
evaluated in this particular situation. The first is whether our staff adhered to policies and practices, and I think we feel really comfortable at this point in saying that our policies were followed. Security was actually augmented as a result of Meade's history. So they did in fact go above and beyond. The second piece of that, which falls squarely on me, is whether our policies and practices were sufficient enough to put our staff in a position to maintain their safety and security. And so that's the process that's ongoing
been a
right
long
now
road, and,
for department leadership
I'm
as
trying to
well as
come out
prisons
different.
leadership
That's
to
all.
make sure that they're positioned
Just trying to
as
come
good as
out different.
possible. But I can tell you from
No,
our initial
y'all was
review
doing
of
before.
events, facility leadership
Absolutely moron
in
moves on my
authorizing that
part.
transport and augmenting resources, as well as the conduct
I'm a
and performance of our
fucking
staff
idiot
in
for
the
real.
execution of that transport, were wholly in line with our policies.
But I'm
and
fixing
practices.
that. Facts.
Correct.
Director, one more question for you. Any insight into how someone who's in a maximum security prison in the most restricted part of that prison could have possibly coordinated this kind of escape?
Absolutely, and that's what we've turned our investigative resources towards ferreting out. What we do know, and this is, I think, a challenge that plagues corrections across the country, is contraband cell phones, other third parties, other means of communicating. One of the things we try very hard to interdict are the abilities for people in custody to further their criminal activities on the outside.
See, they said it right there. Cell phones. Now, don't get me wrong. I got mixed shit about the cell phones. Am I willing to fight 1,700 people on the block to get one phone call out? I don't know. If I was younger, definitely. At my age, you're probably better off getting choked out with a soda sprayer at a local bar. That's just my thing. I don't know. Not that I go to any local bars. There's no local bars where I'm at. I am the local bar. Unfortunately. That's why it's a shitty show half of the time. But anyways, back to that. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of shit to go in with this whole thing that they're not willing to divulge. And we're going to keep going. Because my timing was you could get plenty of crack, but you couldn't get a Marlboro Red. You couldn't get a Marlboro Red, and there was no Newports either. But everybody on the block was cracked out.
Or within our secure
Facts.
institutions. So we know that
Not
there
a tough
are
guy.
ways that they attempt
Let's get
to
that
thwart,
straight right now.
Our
Not a career
procedures,
criminal.
safeguards
Not a tough
that we
guy.
have in place.
I ain't
and
never
that's
done
what we're
nothing
trying
great.
to figure out right now is exactly what we know with
As
near
far as I'm
certainty this
concerned.
was not an accident. This was a planned event, and we're channeling every resource we have into trying to understand exactly how they went about planning it.
Just a wild
Yeah, the
life.
information we have
Just
is
a
that he
wild life.
was in restraints while he was being
Wild
escorted
by
out of
helicopters.
the
I got some
hospital.
stories for you
Once,
guys.
events
some stories
transpired,
for you
I'll
guys.
defer to the people investigating those events, but
They're not
yeah,
stories, they're real
he was
life.
in restraints.
Any 18 monitors do one thing. Just so I feel secure. I mean, Jesus Christ. God in heaven, forgive me.
There's not a lot that we know. Obviously, our folks are still on the scenes of those homicides. It has not been that long since we found this out, so we're still investigating. In the coming days, we will be able to learn more information about whether those ties exist or what happened. You asked about handcuffs. We did find the shackles at the scene of one of the homicides, so that's one of the ways that we tied them together.
Bro,
We
you want to...
found the vehicle they escaped in up in northern.
Bro, you want to escape, go ahead and escape. There's no reason to involve other people, make them hurt, and all that shit like that there. There ain't nothing cool to that. You're a piece of shit. Just like that dude with the fucking hand tattoo face up in fucking Pennsylvania, where I'm from. Not where I'm from, but my state. Yeah. You're running around buying body parts, doing all this dumb shit, acting like nah, bro. I don't know if that case got closed yet or not, but yeah, we'll see. We'll be back on that one too.
They're in Idaho, and they took another vehicle.
You don't get to buy people's body parts after they've been donated to science. You can go yourself.
Who put that out? It's possible. Yes. It is possible.
Can you give us more details about how the arrest went down, and more specific about where it happened and how long the chase went on?
It is so recently that I can't give you a lot. I know they were located. They determined that they were found, apparently, and they tried to flee. I don't know how long the pursuit lasted. It was in Twin Falls County, and they were taken into custody without shots.
Were they spotted by a member of the public or a police officer? How were they spotted?
I don't know that.
Here's the funny shit. Is that you got 100 people that want to act crazy, and then you got 1% of them that really are crazy. And the sad part about it is that I actually got to experience that. And maybe we'll get into that later, but yeah, you can act crazy as you want, but being crazy and acting crazy is a whole different ball game, my man. A whole different ball game. You can have the biggest thing online. You could have the biggest thing on the streets, but unless you really are that dude, you're not that dude. And I'm not saying that I am. I'm just saying I know the difference. Hey, point blank period. Point blank period. I'm just tired of dumb people falling for dumb shit.
We weren't there.
I'm not saying anybody here is
car.
dumb.
I don't know.
It's just what
the
it
investigation
is.
is so early. We don't know exactly what transpired.
We don't know what exactly transpired.
I do not
See,
know.
and that's the shit I'm talking about, though. Get it right, homie.
And these are the tips that come in that helped us solve this.
Yeah. It's like getting all pieced together.
Which agency took that into custody?
There are numerous agencies involved. To say one, it's unclear, and it is so fresh. We know they're in custody. We don't have all the details of what transpired.
Thank you so much. I don't know what good I've been doing. I'm just
I
trying.
have no idea.
I'm going to give this a second. I'll be right back.
They are in custody. As far as I
think this will be
know,
over in a
we've not heard
second
of any
anyhow.
injuries sustained during the
I need a second.
No, there was not.
Any indication if the two people who were killed had any ties to any gangs?
We're working that out. Don't have any information on that at this time. Obviously, as I said, the investigation is ongoing, and we'll sort that out in the coming days, but it's too soon to speculate on that.
Were one of those homicides in Orofino?
They were both in, one we don't know where it occurred, but they were both located in rural Idaho, so not inside city limits.
What do you believe in?
Again, I'm not going to get into the details of the homicide. One, I'm not there. Our guys are still on scene doing that job, and so I don't want to get it wrong.
Where do you believe they may have been heading?
To Twin Falls County. I'm not trying to be smart. All we know is that's where they ended up, and that's where we caught them. Again, the investigation's ongoing.
Does it seem that they wanted to get to these two people that they killed specifically?
The motive and why they did what they did, I don't know.
What role did the...
I believe the director confirmed that, yes. Is that accurate?
Correct.
What role did the FBI play in all this?
They assisted us.
And also in terms of the area nights, anything being done in the prison to address that gang, given that,
I will happily turn this over to the director.
Yeah, the area nights are one of multiple security threat groups that we monitor and try to interrupt their activities. I think that's a daily occurrence within the Department of Correction, is trying to help, trying to mitigate the damage that gangs can do. Primarily when that criminal activity can extend beyond our secure perimeters and wind up back out in our communities. But in terms of the actions of Skylar Meade and Nicholas Umfenauer, their gang involvement doesn't necessarily indicate that this was some sort of gang-sanctioned event. In fact, we have, I think that's, I'll leave it at that right now, but independent of their actions, the Department of Corrections and our team of investigators and staff work hard every day to try to disrupt any sort of organized criminal activity that happens within our facilities.
To clarify, where are they being held and what's next for both of the men?
If you guys hear a difference there,
They
please
were
let
arrested
me
in
know.
Twin Falls County, so that they will start their, I'm sure they'll be taken to the Twin Falls County Jail to begin with. From there, as the investigation proceeds and we develop more information, there's a good chance there'll be prosecution in several different locations.
Whose car was the Honda Civic or Honda Accord that you all mentioned? Was it Umfenauer's or was it stolen?
It was reported stolen.
And I think we're going to cut it off at that point.
One more last question. How did you come to the conclusion
Yep.
to associate that two extra homicides with this case?
By information that we developed on the scenes of the homicide, and I can't go much further than that.
And the homicides took place today?
In the last 24 hours. And that's truly all. Thank you, folks.
All right, so I don't know, man. This is apparently the shit that yeah, this is what we're dealing with, man. It's like who's beating who and this and that. Like, and it's just a downright disrespectful type of situation where it's dog eat dog, and we already know that. We've been living through that since the 80s. It's not a wait, how could I put it better? If you feel like you're a nobody and you're doing something to be somebody and not tweak who you really are to the best of your ability, then you're a fraud. You're a fraud. And I mean that for a lot of creators. And I don't mean like, I'm not talking about the people that I'm talking about the people that I see out here. They wanna go ahead and say this, say that, make people look dumb. And oh shit, sorry. A little bit of boom synth. But so hold on. All right. So my point to that is that you don't have to become some type of gangster or whatever to be up here. You can just do you and be you, and that's it. You don't have to break other people down and things. Now, don't get me wrong. Shit happens, and people have to be who they have to be in order to get their point across. I get that 100%. Trust me, I do. There's a lot of motherfuckers I'd like to call out on this thing. I can't help what they say. I can't help what they think. It's just a part of life. So you either accept it and move on and be thankful for the blessings that you have, or you turn out to be like one of these. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to be that person. I just want to do me, help, and possibly do better and make a better person out of myself and the people that surround me. Have I up here? Absolutely. I'm not exempt. I said that from day one. I'm not exempt. I'm no exception. But I'm the South Philly hillbilly, and that's a fucking fact. I got flaws, just like you, just like everybody else. Nobody's exempt from this shit. I don't even know sound effects or nothing else to talk about that shit. It's just the way that it is. Things will never be the same. Anyways, God bless you and your family. I don't know. I'm praying to Christ that I can get up off of this and get rid of Scully. He's been making me lose a lot of money here. $40,000 chains, $50,000 cars. I'm like, dude, you got a $40,000 chain, you got a $40,000 car. It doesn't even make sense. Does this shit make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, I appreciate you for hanging in here. We've been going now for almost an hour. Almost an hour. Yeah, I don't care, man. I'm just here to have fun, live life, dude. And I appreciate everybody stopped in. I really do. I don't have everything the way that I want it to be. I don't think you're going to have everything the way you want it to be coming out the gate either. And it's not a tit for tat game. It's not a tit for tat. Oh, I did better than you, or this and that, or it's nothing like that. Let's learn off of each other. Let's become brothers. Let's actually do something here. Let's do something here. All right. Let's do something here. Let's be real. So. Peace. Love and happiness.